Hello and welcome back to Brunch with Books. Today we have come up with another exciting episode where we will be discussing about childhood stories that we have grown up with and some interesting stories we remember from childhood that we want to share with you all. So join us with a cup of joy and let's dive into those memory lanes which have shaped our imagination. Over to you, Dr. Geeta, for more insight from your story.
Hi everyone. Have you ever grown up with a story so beautiful that it stayed in your heart forever? I did. I belong to the Kodava community, native to the lush hills and valleys of Kodagu in South Karnataka, which has its own unique traditions. But there is one story that has always stirred my soul. The story my mother told me when I was a little girl. And I'm very excited to share with you all this story. It is the story of Devakanya, the celestial maiden who became the first mother of the us Kodavas. So, long ago, when the gods and the goddesses walked the earth, an Apsara, a divine angel from Devlok, she was cursed to live on the earth, the mortal world. She landed on this earth and she wandered through the misty forests of Kodagu, green, fragrant, and filled with the whispers of waterfalls and bird song. At the same time, a young prince named Chandravarma from the distant land of Matsyadesh arrived in Kodagu. He was mesmerized by the beauty of the land and also by the beauty of the angel herself. When their eyes met, the world stood still and it was love at first sight. As a young child, I didn't know what his love is all about, but I can recall love could be the light that shone in my mother's eyes, the smile that lit up her, lips, and the glow on her face. And as she was, explaining it, I was filled with so much of happiness. But love is not easy as we know. The angel was immortal, the prince was human. How can their worlds ever unite? But the angel, she promised some solution she will find. And when she was going back to her Devlok, she met the sacred deities, the serpent deities, who who protect the sacred snake land, Nagadeva and Nagadevi. And listening to her story, they were filled with so much of sadness for her, and so they promised to help. So they created the divine Mangal Sutra, the Patak. I'm wearing that small replica of it, which is a small replica. The original is, it is shaped like a cobra's hood. And as you can see, it is a gold coin embossed with the Lakshmi. And then there is the serpent hood hanging of fresh pearls and gold and coral beads. And it is strung with, black glass beads. So this was the symbol of divine protection, the protection of the serpents, and it is a symbol of eternal love. So even today, the Kodwa bride wears the patak, and it is something that shows the bond of nature and the bond of mother's love. So, taking the story forward, there is one condition the deity said the patak could be tied by someone who loved her unconditionally. And she was thinking, who would love her unconditionally? Yes, you have guessed it. Who else could it be but her mother? So her mother, the embodiment of true love and Shakti, tied the sacred patak around her neck, blessing her union. And the angel returned to her beloved prince. They raised a small family there. So their children became the ancestors of the Kodava people. When I reflect on this story, I see the deeper truth there that in the Kodava culture, the mother stands above all. She is the real goddess of this earth who gives life, nurtures it, and sustains it, not just in this world, but beyond it. For me, this story is not just about our origins. It is about the sacred power of womanhood. It is a story where the love defied boundaries between heaven and earth, between gods and mortals. And it is a story of love that crossed every boundary and which made the blessing of the mother that made it eternal. I loved sharing this story with you all. Hope you all liked it. And dear Siddharth, I'm waiting to hear your story. Please share it.
Wow, I love that story, Dr. Geeta. And while we are sharing these very timeless stories in this period of Children's Month, we are celebrating Children's Month in BWB. Uh, this week we have Children's Day, and Children's Day makes me so happy. I feel like a child again. Today, when we are doing this recording, we have Kindness Day, World Kindness Day, and I love this concept of how we understand love from very different angles. If we are a child, we have all the world's love, and over a period of time, it dies. That is what happens in the world, in the real world. But then these stories keep that love alive. And I'm going to share today a very timeless story which I have heard from my mom. He has heard from her mom. And this is a story of my mom's grandmother's story, which is like my grandmom's mother-in-law. She had told this story to her, and it's a story of timeless love. There is something deeply moving about love that transcends death. It speaks to the most profound kind of devotion and connection between two people, and that kind of story I'm going to share today. So it is a story where about my mom's grandfather, uh, who was basically a doctor, and he had his first wife had actually succumbed to death because of some illness, and she had left before he had died. Basically, there's this Hindu thing that woman should not die before the man. But then at those time, I mean, this is the time of 1940s and 50s. I'm talking about during that time when uh, his first wife died. Uh, they thought that the connection was gone, and then he had a second marriage, and from the second marriage he had the son who was married to my mom's mom. So that's how the story comes through a generation, and we are coming to know about it. So when this is a story when he was very ill, and my grandmom's mother-in-law was taking care of my mom's grandfather, and he was very sick, and he was almost like dying. They were near a place which was having a pond, and my mom's grandmother was actually taking care of her husband, and it was like the last minutes, and they were looking. There was a window, and they were looking at the pond, and he said that she is waiting for me. And with those words, he left. My grandmom's grandfather, he like passed away. And the moment that happened, uh, it is something very miraculous which happened the next minute. In the pond, there was some light, and that light just suddenly that light came, and that light just got into the water, like it dropped into the water. Later, uh, he understood it was his first wife who was waiting for him even after she had passed. I mean, she had passed away before only, but then she was waiting in the afterlife for him to rejoin him in that period, in that realm of afterlife. And that's so amazing. We talk about this Swarg, Nark and all that. Some person is waiting for taking somebody with that moment of, the unity, or that, the moment where somebody after life is going to meet the person they love deeply. That's something surreal, right? It is surreal. I mean, I can't even imagine now. But then my mom's grandmother told her, uh, so mother-in-law told her daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law was my grandmother. She told my mom, and this story has been coming through. So when I used to hear this, I used to like I was in awe of listening to it, and I was like amazed. How can this happen? But then because we have heard this, and we have not only heard from them, but other people also, we believe that happened really. And it was such a interesting event that uh, it tells that how love transcends death. If these stories reveal that there is so much depth in human attachment, the way love can actually shape a person's entire life, and not only in the in the life we have, but even after death people actually continue to love. The soul, what you call that soulmate, right? They actually exist, and they exist beyond time. It is like the eternal love which we talk about, and it's amazing to know about this. Even in this era, when we hear these stories, it is such a amazing feeling about this small emotion, the most prominent emotion we have, love. And today, in the this Children's Day month, I'm talking about it, and it makes me so happy. Thank you so much for listening to me, everybody who is going to listen to this. I'm passing over to Shitapa. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Siddharth, for such a timeless story. And I'm sure there are many people who must have listened such stories from their grandmom and grandmom's grandmom, and it's passing in their family. And one of them I want to share is from my childhood, which I have listened from my mom, and I'm sure it has been told to her by her mother. So it's also passing generation to generation. So upon a time, there was two birds, Chota and Choti. Chota was the male bird, and Choti was the female bird. So Chota wanted to eat pite. So he said, Choti, will you make pite for me? And Choti said, okay, I can make it, but noon nahi, tel nahi, chal nahi, kart nahi, pite ki kora hobe? So that means she was saying to him that there is no ingredients for making the rice cakes for you. So we have to first get the rice cakes materials to make it. So Chota said, okay, no problem. I will go to the forest and get you the ingredients you need. So Choti was fine. Okay, you go and get the things for me, and I'll make it for you. So Chota went to forest. While he was going to the forest, one man who was traveling in the cycle, he parked the cycle and went to wee. So when Chota saw that he's carrying, rice powder and salt and the oil and all those things which will be needed for pite, he quickly picked it up and flew. And the guy didn't notice that it was the bird who took it away, and he quickly ran to the forest to collect some woods as well. So Chota was, poking the tree to get some twigs. Tuk 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 tuk. That's when a tiger passed by. And the tiger said, Amar bone kere? Bag mama, ami chota. Oh, immediately he said. And that time the tiger was like, okay, what are you doing in my forest? Then the chota said, Bag mama, I have come to take some ingredients. Today we are making pite at home. So he said, so you guys are making rice cakes at home? So he said, yes. And he said, okay, I will also like to have some. Invite me also. I'm coming in the evening to have some. He said, okay, Bag Mama, we are very happy to host you. You please come in the evening and I'll keep ready for you. I'll inform Choti to make more so that you can also have. So he was like, okay, he said. And then he went off, passed by, and let Chota collect some twigs. So Chota quickly picked some twigs and ran back home. And he handed over to Choti, his wife, and said, Choti, we have to make a little more because Bag Mama is visiting us in the evening for rice cakes. And the Choti said, huh? Tiger coming at home, and you feel that he will just eat rice cakes and he will not gobble us? And Chota was like, yeah, Choti, you are right. What to do now? So Choti said, okay, let's not panic. I have a plan. So they said to each other that we will bake some rice cakes, we will keep it in the way, and then we will trick him and run away. So let's see what they do. So as the tiger in the evening enters, he gets a nice aromatic smell of pite. And he's like, wow, what a smell. And then when he comes to the gate of Chota and Choti's house, they find that there are rice cakes in the entrance of the house, and he enjoys some delicious rice cakes, and he's like wagging his tail and moving inside the house. It's a house which has, a kitchen and a room and in a rooftop as well. So in the kitchen they keep one after another some more rice cakes, and as well as some in the path, so that the tiger enjoys while coming to it, and then there is sufficient for him to have. So that they will, like, if he is happy with it and let them go, then great. Otherwise they have another plan in mind, which I'm going to share with you soon. So the rice cakes were so delicious, he was engrossed in having, and then he felt like, I'm more hungry, and he said, I want to eat both of you too, the tiger said. Now, the birds were already aware that this is not going to end at rice cake, and they might be the feast too. So the Chota and Choti immediately said, বাঘ মামা, এরকম তো তুমি ভালো লাগবে না খেলে, একটু সময় দাও, আমরা নুন তেল লাগিয়ে একটু শুকোই, তাহলে বেশ ভালো লাগবে খেতে. That means what they said is that, বাঘ মামা, you enjoy your rice cakes now. We will apply some oil and turmeric and salt and get some dried up in the sun, so that you feel more delicious while having us. That's what they tricked him with. And the tiger believed them. As the rice cakes were also given as expected, he thought, okay, this will also happen as expected, and he started waiting and enjoying the rice cakes again. Now he checks in between. Kire, holi, sukoli tora. That means he's checking, are you dried? Are you sun dried now? Are you ready for me to eat? And this Chota and Choti said, no, no, are ektu pore. That means a little bit, time is there. I'm still drying. So he said, okay, okay, let me know. I'm still enjoying the rice cakes. It's really tasty. So Choti said, thank you. And again they were like, now what to do? The time is ticking, and they have to come near the tiger to gobble them, and what should they do is what is all going inside these two buddies. And then the tiger again checks. Kire, sukoli. Means he's trying to check, are you ready? Are you sun dried for me to gobble you? And that time Chota and Choti said, it's time to show the courage. And they said, yes, Bag Mama, I am ready. So open your mouth and we will come directly to your, mouth, and you can eat us. So the tiger opened its mouth wide, and he's ready to gobble and excited that, wow, now I will get some more good feast. And Chota and Choti come straight to his mouth. Instead of going and getting themselves eaten away by the tiger, what they did was they did, they did potty on his mouth and ran away. And that was so funny for me as a child. I just laughed and rolled, and it was such a funny story for me. And I'm sure, anyone as a child listening this with that bird coming and doing shit in his mouth and running away, it was so funny. You will also like it. And I hope you enjoyed this cute little story from my toddler days. Over to you, Sujata, for more, amazing stories from your collection.
Hi everyone. Now here's my favorite story, The Monkey and the Crocodile. As you might have heard of it, many of you might have heard of it. It's from the Panchatantra. Once upon a time, by a sparkling blue river, there stood a tall jamun tree, its branches heavy with juicy purple fruit. And who lived on that tree? A happy chattering monkey. Every morning he would swing from branch to branch and sing Jamun for breakfast, jamun for lunch, jamun for dinner. Munch, munch, munch. One hot afternoon, a crocodile came swimming by. He looked tired and hungry. Seeing him, the monkey called out, "Hey, crocodile, you look so gloomy. Want some jamuns?" The crocodile's eyes lit up. "Oh, thank you, monkey. They look delicious." He ate a few and he loved them. So every day the monkey plucked fresh fruits and tossed them down. Soon they became best friends. They talked for hours about the river, the trees, the clouds, and even the lazy turtles. One day the crocodile took some jamuns home for his wife. She smacked her lips and said, "Mmm, these are so sweet." If the fruit is so sweet, imagine how sweet the monkey's heart must be. She said slyly, "Dear husband, I want to eat that monkey's heart." The poor crocodile was shocked. "But he's my friend." "Then bring me his heart, or don't come home," he snapped. The crocodile sighed and went back to the river, feeling very sad. The monkey noticed it. "Why are you so dull, my friend?" The crocodile forced a smile. "Oh, my wife, she loves your jamuns. She wants to meet you. Come with me." The monkey hesitated, but the crocodile sounded so sincere that he climbed on his back and they floated gently down the river until the crocodile whispered, "My wife, actually, she wants to eat your heart." "What?" cried the monkey. "Eat my heart? Why didn't you say so before?" Then he added cleverly, "Oh no, I left my heart back on the tree." The foolish crocodile said, "Really? Then let's go back and get it." As soon as they reached the river bank, the monkey leapt to safety. His jamun tree. He shouted, "Silly crocodile, can anyone leave their heart behind? You've lost your friend and your meal." The crocodile hung his head in shame and swam away. And from that day on, the monkey never trusted smooth talk and good sense. So thank you. How did you like the story? Many children have asked me after listening to the story, how can the crocodile have been so foolish? How can someone leave the heart away from the body? But that's the story. Thank you.
Hello, friends. Today I will tell you a story that my mother used to narrate to me when I was a small child. This is one of my favorite stories, and I'm sure you have also heard it. But here goes. Long, long ago, in the green forest of Kishikanda, there was a baby monkey, small, strong, and super curious. And guess what was his name? He was Hanuman. He was no ordinary monkey. He was born with amazing powers. He could leap higher than the mountains, run faster than the wind, and his heart was filled with pure joy and energy. One morning, Hanuman woke up early and he was getting bored and he was very hungry. And he yawned and he looked up at the sky. And what does he see? The glowing sun, a round ball of light. And what did he feel? He felt that this was a huge laddu and he was very hungry, ever so hungry. So what did Hanuman do? Bal Hanuman took a huge leap and he leapt so high, he went higher than the clouds, higher than the world, right up to the sky. And as he was rising towards the sky, all of the world started getting scared. The gods were wondering, what is this little child up to? And in one leap, Hanuman leapt towards the sun, and the sun god asked him, "Hanuman, what are you up to?" And before he could realize it, Hanuman gulped the sun down his throat, thinking that he could eat this laddu. And the whole world went into darkness. The flowers started dying. It was dark and dreary. Life became miserable. All the gods got worried and they didn't know what to do. Then the God of gods, Indra Bhagwan, sent his Vajra to strike Hanuman on his jaw. The minute it hit his jaw, Hanuman cried and shrieked with pain. And his father, Lord Vayu, got very upset. He was wondering why was his child hurt? And as a result, Lord Vayu got so angry, he stopped the breeze, the air, and the world became even more miserable. And do you know what happened next? They realized that without the sun and the air, life cannot exist on this earth. As a result, all the gods came together and they started blessing Hanuman. And with his blessings, with the blessings of all these gods, Lord Hanuman was the most powerful god that we ever know. And Indra Bhagwan said that he will be blessed to become one of the most powerful gods. Lord Brahma said, no weapon will ever harm you. Lord Vishnu said, you will be strong, wise, and full of courage. Lord Agni, the fire god, said, fire will never burn you. And Indra himself said, I take back my thunderbolts hurt, your jaw will heal, but your name will remind you of this day. Hanuman, the one with a strong jaw. Hanuman slowly opened his eyes and he looked around. And when he opened his mouth, the sun came shining brightly out into the sky. Life is back to normal. And what do we learn from this story? That even if you make mistakes, you should have the courage to accept them. And curiosity and courage are wonderful, but we must understand that we have to use our powers wisely. So, dear children, remember, God has blessed you with a lot of powers. Use them wisely and always be a happy and cheerful kid. Thank you.